Hello ladies and gentlemen of the internet, it's Needle here and welcome back to the wonderful land of Lothric. Last time out I think we activated the rest of the bonfires in the undead settlement, and I think we fought Hodrick as well and got the mound makers, all that good stuff. So today we've got a kind of split path. We can kind of go that way and take on the boss, or we can push things forward a little. I'm trying to think. Excuse me. The best way to do things is. Right, okay. Well, we're going to do this. We're going to go the long way. We're going to push the full story forward just a wee bit. And then we'll go activate the next thing to start another side quest. And then by the time we're done, we'll either fight the boss or be at the boss store. The Undead Settlement's probably the most dense area in the game, other than one other area I can really think of. All the other areas are kind of light and close to sort of Dark Souls 2 level of quality, and that's not a bad thing, of course. I just mean they're not as massive and sprawling. This place feels like it could be one or two areas, you know. So this is probably going to be the longest part of the whole playthrough, I'd imagine. Completing everything there is to do here, and you want to get it done because it leads to a couple of side quests and also some important items and things like that. Come on, dog, where are you? Yep. So I'm going to let that guy waddle away. Not been seen, have we? We drag this guy across the bridge. Oh, that was lucky. Now we want to start dragging these guys. These guys can be a real pain to deal with, but thankfully. Yeah, the one thing you need to realise is that they're not going to stagger. Oh. Right, so there's one dead. Oh, they do stagger. Didn't think they did stagger. There you go. And he goes down. Now let's check our status here. We have 584 HP, never mind. This is an area right down below that we're going to have to pass through eventually, and if you have over 1000 HP, I believe you can actually drop off and survive the drop down there, and you can skip a whole section of having to buy a key and things like that. We don't have 1000 HP, so we're not going to bother doing that. We're going to continue on and meet a little NPC just up ahead. Let's see, be wary of attacking. Yeah, you don't want to attack this guy for a number of reasons. Reason one, he's a good guy. Reason two, that big ass hammer. This guy's called Eygon. He's from a familiar land that we know from Dark Souls 1, and he's here for a reason, of course, as everyone is.
Another one of those unkindled, are you? All you faceless undead, behaving as if you deserve respect. No matter. Heed my words. If you've any sense, you go find a coffin to huddle up inside. You, here, in this land of hollows, you're like a frail maiden on the front lines. If, like the others, you're fool enough to play the champion, then go on ahead. Traipse right past the abandoned church. You'll face death. And it won't be pretty. Enough death to leave you broken. Time after time. Yeah.
So he's a very pleasant soul, as you can imagine. Very cheery. And by his words, he seems to say that he's not undead, because he's calling us an undead and us an unkindled, telling us to go hide and run away and stuff. So it seems that he's not an undead, he's not unkindled, he's nothing like that. But he seems to think that we're not capable, which is hilarious because this raw Astora straight sword would probably wreck him. I might backstab him off that cliff. But anyway,
if like the others, you can go.
so he's got nothing else to say really. His name's Eygon. He's from Karim, as we'll find, and he's actually protecting this young lady here. And we can save her a little bit later with the help of what's inside this church. This is a cool little mechanic you're going to be introduced to, and it's one I think you can use later. But first of all, we're going to meet somebody else who's a friend. A very familiar friend, if you played Dark Souls 1. Hey, it's the Onion Bro. This guy has a long quest line that we're going to complete because it matters a wee bit down the line. So, let's meet Siegward. I think it's Siegward.
Oh. Pardon me, I was absorbed in thought. I am Siegward of Katarina. To be honest, I'm in a bit of a pickle. Have you ever walked near a white birch only to be struck by a great arrow? Well, if I'm not mistaken, they come from this tower. Whoever it is, I'm sure I can talk some sense into them. But I have to find a way up. And that's just the trouble. This lift only goes down, you see, and... well, that doesn't get me anywhere.
So he's a nice enough guy, and he wants to know how to get up the tower instead of down. But we've seen how the lift works right there, and we can give him a hand. So you want to just run right across this, and let it go down. And another lift will shortly come down, and let us go back up. And we can meet the person at the top of the tower who's firing these arrows. We weren't really subjected to them. I managed to stop before we ran into the area. But if you play through the game and you find these white birch trees in areas, if you go near them, then you're going to be hit by giant arrows. And there's a way to stop that, and that's by coming up here, climbing these stairs, and meeting BFG. Big friendly giant. Here he is.
Who are you? I help anytime.
Okay, so you'll pick up young white branches throughout the game, and we'll just have a kind of standard description on them. Whereas this one has a special one, so if you see this white birch and it says good friend, no hit at the bottom there, don't throw that away. As soon as you lose that white birch, you'll begin shooting arrows at you again. So you want to hold on to that one and always keep it in your possession just in case you come across a white birch tree. You can, if you do lose it, you can always come up here and get another one from him. But until you do that... So see there, you could hear a little noise there again from Siegward. It's floating around somewhere. So we'll climb back up this lift again. And... hey, there's a little area to drop off. It's easier on the way down than it is on the way up. I actually kind of got quite lucky there. But if you come out here, you'll find the man himself again.
Ah, don't disappear like that. You had me downright worried. But thanks to you, an epiphany has struck me square in the head. I've unraveled the riddle of this inscrutable lift. On some day, I went up the tower, so I thought. I'm not exact. Anyhow, do you see that? That humongous beast? I'm no coward and I've a steady hand, but that thing makes my skin crawl. How now? Think twice before you go down that road.
Thinking about it. Thinking about it again. Alright, we've thought twice. We're going to go fight this thing. Or we will fight this thing when it eventually comes to us. If you drop down here, if you drop down on that ledge there, you're going to get in a big open area and giving it a chance to really catch you out. If you stay here at the edge, you'll aggro him eventually, and Siegward will come to your aid.
No.
Yep, see? So Siegward's coming to help us, and now we can actually back all the way up. So now Siegward's here to help. And is that him dead? Is he gone? Well, that was a lot faster than I thought. Ross threw a straight sword, everyone. And then you might catch up with this guy again.
That was quite a performance. But you mustn't get in over your head. we unkindled must put our duties first. But, for the moment, we've a toast to make.
Okay, so we got Siegward.
Valor, my sword, and our victory together. Long may the sun shine.
We get the toast, and then if we talk to him again, he decides he's going to go to
have
sleep.
myself a little nap. The only thing to.
And then if we talk to him again, he's sleeping, and we'll get the sleep gesture. So there you go. So we've already got the kind of start of Siegward's questline, because he says, that was stupid of you, why did you run in there? We undead have to put our duties first. So he already has a sense of purpose, he has a duty that he's got to kind of follow. He's not really letting us on what that is yet, but he has one, and he's annoyed that we didn't really put ours first. You know, I've never really explored this corner. Is there anything in here? Is this just a path for you to run away from the demon, perhaps? I think it is. Yeah. So you can just escape from him. Never even knew that was there. Over here you can use a bow and arrow if you got one equipped. We don't. So we don't even need a bow and arrow, because you want to get that item there. This is a large club, so if you like a strength build and you want to use that large club, go ahead. Get these out of the way. And you come up here, and you just want to knock that down. And get a pale tongue. So that pale tongue is the turn-ins for the invasion covenant in this game, so that'll get you started on that. And this is the northern set. So this set really reminds me of the old knights in Hades Tower of Flame. I don't know if it's meant to be reminiscent of them, but it says iron defensive wear grants superior stability. Being from the north, it should also offer resistance to the cold. But it says Northern Warrior. It looks like the old knight set, and we know that Drang Lake was very far to the north. So to me, it seems like it's kind of referencing the old knights there. No trap ahead, which is a lie. You see these guys all hanging from the roof as soon as you grab this item. Oh, okay. Maybe this one wasn't a trap. There's a couple of traps in here, and that wasn't one. So we're going to keep moving into here, and this one is a trap for sure as soon as you grab this item. Yep. I've never seen that attack before by those guys. Just like I've never seen that fire demon use his fire breath at this stage before. There's one later that does. So there you go, 2 brand new attacks today. Through here, don't totally rush because you're going to get blindsided by a couple of dogs if you do. Dogs on the right. Yep. One down. One in. Nice. And then we have the second ambush, which is an even bigger ambush when you open this chest here. Oh, come on. So that should clear that up, and we're going to pop an Estus. And then we're going to have a bit of trouble up here, because we got 2 sorceress women's. Ow. Not really what the plan was, as you can imagine. That's okay. As long as we're just drawing the one. Ow. Ow. No thank you. Should drop an instant for us? Nope. Okay, have we got any healing item? I don't want to use any more Estus right now. We can use the Siegbrow, but we have a use for it later, so I don't really want to use that. And then we got away there with a plunging attack. Nice. So we shouldn't really come into contact with any other more serious enemies right now, so we can afford to use our Estus and then go explore the upper floors here. It's a bit of a gauntlet here, getting through all these enemies, and then there's a bit of platforming. But if you make it all the way to the end, there's a really good reward, so that's how we're going to try and do it. If you come here in your second playthrough, or at the very end of your first playthrough, based on the items you pick up, this will be no problem towards the end here. but for us we're going to need to watch our jumping. We got Flynn's ring. If you play Dark Souls 2 it's a DLC ring, and the less you have equipped the more damage you do. So lower equipped load increases attack. Ring of Flynn, the Eulogized Thief, yeah. Flynn fought with the wind in his side and was a hero among the weak and poor. Yeah, even his admirers knew it was a lot more than an idyllic fable. So maybe something to do with Robin Hood there, if you know what I mean. But as of course in all Dark Souls universe, he wasn't as noble as he seemed. So we're going to pop down here. And then pop down here. And if you don't want to go any further and risk losing your souls, which I can totally understand, we're sitting near 10,000. Then you can run around here and get Homeward Bone. That doesn't matter to us. What matters to us is getting down there. Now I'm going to heal up, because I think if I miss this jump I'm going to die. So if I don't miss this jump then I might only survive with a fraction of my HP. So you want to jump and land on this bit here and then roll down. And you might be tricked into thinking it's just the mirror set here, which we'll investigate in a minute. But don't forget to roll through here for the real reward, which is the Chloranthy ring. We're going to equip that straight away, and that's going to up our stamina regeneration by, I don't know how much, I think it might be like 15% or something. Could be telling a lie though. But we also get the mirror set. I'm not really fond of it, it's not really good in terms of defense or stuff, it's okay. But of course you'll recognise this as Lucatiel's armour. Garb worn by Mirror Knights sent on journeys, this hard leather vest is bestowed only upon proven knights. Knights travel afar to fulfil their sacred duties, but few are ever able to deliver on their vows. So there you go, it's a kind of... It kind of confirms what we know about Lucatiel and her brother, that they both went on a kind of adventure and they didn't really succeed in that. We are going to return to the bonfire we last rested at, because we don't really want to go back to the shrine just yet. I think we can survive in the next area. We want to grab a little item before we go any further. Yeah, and we just need to survive this big brute here. And after that we'll be plain sailing and you'll get to see the giant in action. Let's go on, big bro. What are you made of? Ow. Goodbye. He's down. He doesn't drop in. I think they can only ever drop rubbish, by the way. Every single time I've got them to drop something, it's always been rubbish. Now here you can see all the giant arrows sitting about, so that should give you a warning that if you enter this area, you're going to get hit by a giant arrow. You can see the white birch tree there, which signifies the giant. And he's going to come to our rescue right now. Yep. And you can see here there's tons of items to grab. So don't be shy about grabbing all of these, because as these guys come to get you, he's going to back you up. If you don't have the white birch, then he's going to fire arrows at you too. In fact, he's going to fire arrows at you as a priority over everybody else. Oh, nearly walked right into that. We'll take this guy down. Okay, so this leaves us a little bit freer to explore this area. I'm sure that was an accident. That item over there is kind of important. We don't want to miss that jump though and risk all our souls. So instead of that, we're going to come up here to the top. There's an ambush and wait. It's a small ambush though, as you can see. It's just one of these little dudes. As soon as you come here to grab this item, he's going to pop off. And we're just going to kill him. And grab the cleric stuff. So if you start as a cleric, you're already going to have that set. But if you don't, that's where you get the starting set for any clerics playing. And here is our first set of ashes. So these ashes are nothing special. I think they're in the key items part. Umbral ash of a resident of the undead settlement who made a living burying corpses. With this, the shrine handmaid will prepare new items. So we can hand these over to the shrine handmaid and she'll give us some new stuff to buy. And that's important because these ashes in particular unlock a key that we're going to need. So we're going to pretend to walk through this door, and then we're going to activate this dude. He shouldn't be too hard to kill in our state. He isn't. And all you Dark Souls 1 dex users are going to love this. And we're going to make this jump, which we do. We're going to grab ourselves the Great Scythe. A classic weapon. Oh, connection is still interrupted. Okay. So we grabbed the Great Scythe there. And if I'm not too sure about Reapers in this game, I've never really made use of them in any of the Souls games, to be quite honest. I've heard in Dark Souls 2 they were pretty good, and the Scythe of Want was pretty decent. But I've never really been a fan of their moveset or anything like that, so I've no idea how good it is in this game. They do sort of bypass shields a little bit, but not as much as some people would have liked, I don't think. Going to continue in offline mode. And there we see the Divine Tomes of Kareem, the Braille Tomes. They're going to become relevant once we free Irina from her prison. So if we make our way up here, we're going to make it to the next boss. This boss is optional, you don't need to fight this boss, but if you don't beat this boss, you're not going to be able to turn boss souls into boss weapons. You can see here the arena there, but we're not going to push it any further. We're going to open a shortcut which leads out to where we just kind of came from. If you want, you can go through the cliff underside bonfire and just make a run from there to this location instead of having to go the long way around. So that's fine. We're going to go back and grab the one item that we didn't get and risk our souls, and then we're going to go back to the shrine, turn over all our items that we don't need and stuff, and then that'll wrap it up for today, I think. This one, I never realised you can come down onto this roof. I was wondering if there was anything we were missing. Doesn't look like it though. So we'll heal up, I don't know why, just in case. You never know. And make that jump. Easy as crap, and you get your first undead bone shard of the playthrough. I think it's in key items again. No it isn't, it must be in here. There we go. Undead bones that yet burn. Cast into the shrine bonfire to boost the recovery provided by the Estus flask. The bonfire cinders are the bones of undead, and a bone that still burns is the fresh cinder indeed. Before feeding upon death, one must first pray to it. So these will increase your healing capacity from your Estus flask, which is good and bad. I mean, it's good to get that extra recovery, but once you upgrade it almost to the max, I mean, I'm nearly at 40 vigour in my main playthrough, and a maxed Estus flask almost heals full of that. So if you're in a dishonourable duel or an invasion and stuff and the host keeps healing, it's just going to be a nightmare because it can recover so much HP so fast. Right, burn this shard, just going to boost our Estus flask. Next, we'll go to Andre and see if we have any Estus shards. I don't know if we do actually, let's see. Nope, doesn't seem like we do, that's fine. We're going to come over here to the Shrine Handmaid and give her the Mortician's Ashes. She doesn't really have any unique dialogue for those. And now we can purchase a grave key. Key to the barred door leading from the sewer below the undead settlement to a moist grave. The grave, which no longer receives visitors, was once the site of a statue of Velka, goddess of sin, and was believed to pardon wrongdoing and lift curses. So Velka was a really kind of important yet non-existent character in Dark Souls 1. She seems to really have influence in the world and on the gods, and they sealed her away within this sort of painted world, or everything that was related to her, sorry, was sealed behind the painted world. So she's someone that even the gods feared, and it seems she makes a slight return just in name and a statue in this game, which we'll investigate in the next episode when we clear up the rest of the undead settlement. Nothing else here. I think you get human pine resin from turning this over, and I think with each type of ashes you hand over, or every so often, you get more embers to buy. Nothing really important that we need to get from her right now, so we can leave this, no problem. And we're going to use up all our consumables, as you do. I know we don't really need to boost our strength and stuff considering we're using a raw weapon, which doesn't count on scaling, but eventually we're going to change that up. So you want to make sure that whenever we grab a weapon that does scale, that we're going to be in the right sort of stats for it. And these just give you 50 each, so we're not really going to get anything from those. That's fine. So a nice haul of only almost 13,000 souls. And we're going to level up. And so we're already at 15 strength, so we don't need to really worry about that. How many levels are we going to get here? 3. In that case, we'll do that. I know it doesn't really benefit us, but I think we're at a position right now that we've got enough HP, got enough endurance and stuff, so we might as well start building for the future. Oh, a quick little event here. I think you might have already seen this in this playthrough, I can't quite remember. But sometimes Hawkwood will disappear from here, and you can actually find them outside the shrine once the loading screen disappears. We take this moment to change some of these. Oh, one more. Give us collapse. Don't like pointing down either. Give us rest. I like using that in sort of like co-op and stuff. Our souls are still here. I don't even think there's anything there. I don't think it's just 0 and oh, it's 1,000 souls. There you go. That might just change the how your game works here for a bit. So for some reason this dog is still alive, yet Hawkwood just ignores it, and it ignores Hawkwood. That really annoys me. I thought he maybe would have killed it or it would have despawned whenever he's out here. But you get a little bit unique dialogue. Key point you're going to notice here is that... oh, maybe they don't. He has a bastard sword that appears on his back right now. But I thought they always had the same sword, but we'll get to that. We'll get to that. There's a reason that sword's there.
The poor wretched souls. Be they lord or legend, the curse shows no mercy. What a sham.
So he seems to have a deeper understanding than he's really letting on of some things. Oh, my game had totally froze there for a second, no idea why. But be the lord or legend, curse spares no one. So he almost feels sorry for the Lords of Cinder, but he seems to know more than he's kind of letting on about it. And his sword is sitting there against the grave. Perhaps it's someone he knew, a loved one or something, or a dear friend that he lost their life. I don't think we've met that man over there. It's one last thing we can do before wrapping this up. This guy's Ringfinger Leonard, and he has a small side quest, but he really facilitates your entry into the Invasion Covenant. I think he appears once you grab that pale tongue, actually.
Unkindled, are we? And fast on the trail of the Lords absconded? Then these red eyes are for you. Use them to pillage embers and briefly heighten your strength for your duty. What else are unkindled ashes good for? Pillage ember, what else?
So he wants us to ember up, which we're probably going to do anyway. And use the cracked red eye orbs to invade other players to grab pale tongues. Once you reach a certain point in the game, he's going to give you something that gives you access, to the uncracked red eye orb that you can infinitely invade with, and that's good if you join the Invasion Covenant. He has a sort of small storyline tied to the Invasion Covenant, and he also has slight ties to some invaded NPCs, but nothing beyond really mentioning them and stuff. I love his set, and there is a way to get it. We'll try and do that over the course of the playthrough, but that's us done for today. I understand it was another kind of non-event episode, but the Undead Settlement really is so large, sprawling, and just has so much to it, and it's so full of NPCs and side quests. We've still got another NPC to meet and a side quest to start, and then we're going to defeat the boss. So I promise you, by the end of the next episode, we will meet another NPC, kill the boss, move to the next area and towards our first Lord of Cinder, and grab a weapon that we potentially might use for another little while. Once we get bored of this thing, that is. So that's us done for the day, guys. I'd like to thank you for joining me here today. If you like this video, why not give it a like? Tell your friends about my channel. I just really hope to see you guys in future episodes. But until next time, guys, we're done here. We're going to take a rest. We're going to collapse in exhaustion with the amount of running we've done about the Undead Settlement today. Until next time, guys, stay kindled.